Hey, ha. All right. Okay, cool. We are launched and live, Todd. We'll get started here in just a second as people start to join us. Let me
It is
welcome
always
those of you who are
excited to
just
be here with
starting.
you.
This is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it, Todd. You've been coaching like nonstop, haven't you?
It's the time of year where I think it's always important, I think, to have a coach and to be coached. And I feel like it's time to really dig in. So, I've been getting in front of over 500 loan officers a week right now, and plus real estate agents. It's just been a lot of fun.
Nice, nice. Well, welcome for those of you who are just joining us. If you would, in the chat, go ahead and put the city and state that you're in and also the company that you work for, so we can just give you a quick shout out and make sure that all the tech is working. You are here for the Mortgage Lead Gen Hacks event, and we're going to walk you through some great ideas. You're going to absolutely love it. All right, Todd, you want to give some shout outs and say hi?
Look at that. We got Raleigh, North Carolina in the house, First Citizens Bank, Jamie. We got Las Vegas, Axia, Mark. We got Bullhead City. All right, Chad. Love Bullhead City and Nexa. We were just talking about you guys. And Denver, Mike up in Denver, who he's not employed by any company. Maybe.
I doubt
Maybe
that.
and then we got a bunch of missing in action folks, but that's all right. I always like the fact that we get a percentage of people who are here to who to chime in. And the good news, what we're going to talk about is going to work in every one of those markets, and probably the markets from those of you who haven't told us what markets you are in. So
There you go. Mike
straight
says
mortgage. I like that.
it's
Like that. I haven't
straight.
heard that one before. So that's awesome.
There's a new brand. I'm flying to Denver tomorrow actually for a conference up there. So I'll be in Denver for the weekend. So welcome, Mike. And Todd and I were just in Las Vegas, Mark, for the grand opening of the Sphere, the U2 concert opening night. That was amazing. Todd, thanks again for the invite.
That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to hang out with you and Marlo and a bunch of other cool people.
And if you guys haven't yet been to Vegas to experience the Sphere, you absolutely need to. It is an incredible venue. And U2 is playing a few more shows there between now and December. So catch it. I think you're going to the last one. Yeah, Todd?
No, I sold my tickets.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Put
that.
them up for an obscene amount of money, and some financial advisor from Australia bought them.
All right.
But
Okay.
we're going up there for Adele in a couple of weeks, and we're going to try to see if we can't pick up some tickets to go see on the second night we're there.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. We'll see if I can get my, there we go.
There we
The one
go.
thing
We will
about,
get us started here. So it was a lot of fun. Brandon and I just wrapped up. We do biweekly coaching with our loan officers who are members of HOA.com. And so we actually just spent an hour together going through some ideas and just discussing what's working with other folks in the business. And so what I love about getting on this call right after is then we're going to be able to talk about some of the successes that we're seeing out there in real time. And I think that's always what you all want to hear.
yeah, and such an important conversation right now. Obviously, the industry is down as a whole, as we know, and we're going to talk a lot about what you can do right now to start winning more deals and really break through the noise. And this is going to be a great training for you if you want to become the number one top trusted mortgage expert in your market. We're going to talk a lot about getting more deals from realtors and the power of referrals. So if your business runs on realtor referrals, you're in the right place. Just to give you a quick overview of who we are, you probably know Todd, you may not know me. I was in the mortgage business like you for 12 years, from 97 to 09. And I got started, I was a single dad. I was making 20,000 a year before I got in the mortgage business, and I got custody of my son, and I had to make a change. And fortunately, I found the mortgage industry, which just made a huge difference in my life. And I had somebody mentor me in the art of science of what we now call raving referrals, and was able to 10x my income from 20,000 a year to $200,000 a year in 18 months. And I went on to do a $500 million in business in the mortgage industry. And then I went back to building tech. And during the last kind of mortgage meltdown, I said, you know what? I have a passion for building technology platforms. And so that's what I've done. HOA.com is my 10th tech platform over the last 26 years. And the last one we built had over 5 million members. It was called refer.com. We exited that in 2019. And then we started building the homeowneralliance.com, which became HOA.com. The author of Raving Referrals, and so excited to introduce Todd Bookspan. Todd?
I always love every time I hear about your successes in the tech world. It's a lot of fun. And so for those who don't know me, I am the creator of Win by Noon. That's been my passion, my baby for the last 5.5 years. But I've been in the mortgage industry for over 20 years. And although I stopped originating years ago, I'm kind of in the lab, as Brandon calls it right now, with loan officers. I'm really committed. I actually talk to a minimum of 10 realtors a day. So I actually talk to more realtors than a lot of the loan officers I talk to, even though I'm not doing loans. And then I'm also actually talking to borrowers right now, not about getting a new loan, but really about what's going on in their world, so I can advise loan officers on how to have those conversations. My team is still active. They've closed over $1 billion worth of loans, so super proud of them. A lot of you might know me from co-founding the Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind group on Facebook with Dave Savage. It's now rebranded the Trust Engine Group. And then Dave and I also founded together the Modern Mortgage and Modern Real Estate Summit. And then, probably my newest accolade, Brandon, that's not on there is if any of you are part of the almost 3 million people who've bought and listened to or read Phil Jones' Exactly What to Say. I just taught the first ever Exactly What to Say certification for mortgage on behalf of Phil, alongside of my good friend Deborah Bird. So it's a lot going on, a lot of fun, but always enjoy being here. And this conversation in particular is always a highlight for me when we get this opportunity.
I love it. Well, you get to tell people exactly what to say when it comes to the mortgage industry. So that is fantastic. Just to give you a quick background on who we are and what we're doing at HOA.com, because you probably saw HOA, is this all for homeowner alliance or homeowner associations? And the answer is yes, we're on a mission to revolutionize homeowner associations. However, we're creating a platform that's like Nextdoor meets Angie's List meets Zillow. We're creating community pages for every neighborhood in America, whether it's an HOA or not. That's the Nextdoor piece. And then connecting homeowners to professionals they can trust. That's the Angie's List piece. And then we have a home valuation, which I'll show you later on. And that's the Zillow component. So we're really creating everything a homeowner needs in one central website. But as we get into this training and we start talking about what's working best for you, I want to do a quick poll. Let me find out where that is. I'm not seeing it here. So there we go. And what's working best and what's your number one source of new clients? So I just launched this poll online. If you'll just click on one of those things, are you getting your business through advertising? Is that where clients are coming to you? Are you buying leads? Are you making cold calls, posting on social media, or is it referrals from past clients or from professionals who serve homeowners? So just go ahead and click one of those. We'll give it about another 5 seconds or so, and then we'll share this with the group so that you guys can see kind of what's working for everybody else. All right, 3, 2, 1, and oh, check that out, Todd. Look at that. Not surprising, is it, Todd?
It's always interesting. I always try never to be surprised, but I love it, right? This group, of course, overachievers, right? Getting referrals from professionals who serve homeowners. So I love hearing that. I'm guessing a lot of that is real estate agents primarily, but maybe some of you work with some other folks, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah, and that's really what does work best. Now, when we talk about what's the number one business need for not only the realtors you serve, but other professionals who serve homeowners every day, and this is true for you too, it's more clients, right? That's what everyone is looking for. So if you want to attract more referrals, you need to help everybody else attract more business for themselves as well, because 90% of pros surveyed said that attracting more clients is their number one biggest business challenge. That's what you see all the time, isn't it, Tom?
Absolutely, right? I mean, I think that there's not one loan officer I've talked to, maybe ever, but for certainly this year, that hasn't wanted to attract more clients. I've not talked to one realtor this year who hasn't wanted to attract more clients. So absolutely.
And that's the challenge that we see. And one of the symptoms is, or the cause is, that a lot of people don't promote themselves consistently. Most people don't follow up with their past clients. Now, the mortgage lenders tend to be different in that respect. Hopefully, you're marketing to your database. But one of the other challenges, a lot of people don't ask for referrals. They feel uncomfortable asking and they don't want to make their clients uncomfortable. So we teach the art of the ask, and that's kind of a separate training and conversation, but you need to be asking. And you want to be building referral partnerships. And that's something that most people don't do also. Now, you guys probably already know these statistics. You know better than anybody that referrals work. But the reason that they work is because 90% of people say they trust recommendations from people they know. It's all about trust. And the beauty is that when somebody is referred to you, they're 400% more likely to hire you. And referred clients are also 16% more profitable, which is huge, especially for branch managers, right, Todd?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even if you're not a branch manager, I mean, you all know this, right? You have your best referring real estate agents refer you a client. They tell that client how amazing you are, how your advice matters, and that client is less likely to shop you. And so we know if we've got a great referral, that's going to be a transaction with less tension. And we know that that's going to most likely lead to less shopping, and therefore branch managers, less price exceptions, loan officers, less stress.
And more referrals too, right? Because if they trust you higher from the get-go, they're more likely to recommend you because somebody's already vetted you, somebody's already endorsed you, they've already said that you're awesome. And so that trust goes a long way. But one question I have for you is, who's in your business alliance? When you think about who's sending you business right now and who you send business to, who are those professionals that you've been focused on building relationships? Now, it's all around your perfect prospect, which is a homeowner, right? So in order to be successful, you want to create a business alliance of professionals who serve homeowners. And we're going to teach you how. If you go to hoa.com/blueprint, you can download our free referral partner blueprint. Now, we're going to walk you through some of the main things here today, but this gives you everything in writing, and that way you'll have a takeaway and you'll have scripts, you'll have a list of who you should be on the lookout for, and you'll also have the top 21 co-marketing campaigns. Because the biggest challenge that we've seen is people meet a lot of people, but they don't take action and actually build referral partnerships that lead to more business. So that's what we want to help. Todd, anything you want to add there?
Well, it's just such a great tool for you. And then it's a great tool for you to sit down and break into bite-sized chunks and have these, share these ideas with your partners and potential partners. Ask for their feedback, see how they're using it. Use it to run through as a filter on your own business plan, or the things that you're missing that would be really easy to add in there. And then also, are there things that you're currently doing that you could improve? But really where I've seen the most lift, as I said, I'm talking to all these realtors, is really asking them, hey, are you doing this? And then they're like, no, I'm not. And then that's a great opportunity for them to get to sit down with a member of my team who can walk them through how to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you can really walk them through it and show them the steps, they know that they should be doing it, but they're not necessarily doing it. So anyway, our gift for you, go ahead and download that. But let's talk about referral partnerships. And I'm going to do another poll here. And what we want you to do in the poll is answer how many active realtor partnerships that you have that have referred you at least one deal in the last 90 days, okay? Pretty much consistently, okay? So you want active referral partners, people that are always on the lookout for you, referring business to you on a consistent basis. And just go ahead and choose one of those numbers, and then we'll stop this poll in about 5 seconds and then show you guys all the numbers. All right, cool. 3, 2, 1, final answer. And let's show you guys what the results were. Okay, yeah, pretty typical. What we see is that 14% said 0, 43% 1 or 2, 29% 3 to 5, and 14% 6 to 9. So no big surprises there. I'll show you what we see on a national basis. We've surveyed thousands of professionals beyond just the mortgage lenders, by the way. You guys are above the bell curve. But as we've surveyed thousands of people, what we found is that 32% said they have zero referral partners. So if that's you and you are in that category, don't worry about it. We're going to teach you how to build those referral partnerships. But when you combine that with the 47% that said 1 to 2, that means that 79% of the thousands of professionals we surveyed said they had 0 to 2 referral partnerships. Now, why is that important? Why that's important is you may not have all the business that you're looking for. When we found and dug deeper in the people that have 10 plus, that 2% they're just crushing it. On average, those people are earning over $250,000 a year. Now, Todd, I know you do coaching nationwide. Does this surprise you at all?
It doesn't surprise me at all. From the perspective of I talk to people and they're just like you, right? The results that we got here are along the lines of what this is. You're all slightly above the curve, as Brandon said. However, what I would say is that right now, what we're seeing when you see that 2%, I mean, these folks have not just 10 partners, some of them have 20, 30, 40, 50. But even some of the highest income earners, they might have north of 100 people who've referred them loans in the past year. And it's this whole idea of having, to work pretty hard and go wider. So we want to really help you narrow that down and really have the best, deepest relationships possible.
Absolutely. And the good news is you guys make great money, right? For every loan closed, according to New York Times, they published a statistic saying on average, you earn $4,350 per loan. So that means even if you do 4 deals a month consistently, you're looking at over $200,000 a year in income. And when you look at how valuable your realtors are and your referral partners, even if you have a referral partner that's only sending you 1 loan per quarter, that's worth over $17,000 to your business, right? So a huge, huge difference. If they're sending you a deal a month, that's $52,000 a year. And that's what happened for me when I was in the mortgage business. At the end, I started in the mortgage business in May of 1997. And in 1998, I earned over $200,000. And I looked at all of the transactions that I had done. And I was surprised to see one realtor alone, I'd earned over $50,000 just from that one agent. And so those are the kind of referral champions that we want for your business. But even at 1 loan a quarter, you're able to make some significant income, right, Todd?
Absolutely. And I think that that's where we all need to stay focused, right? It's a numbers game, right? The math doesn't lie. And so there is a blueprint, right? We just gave it to you for you to grow your income to where you're really shooting to grow it to.
Yeah, and it's about adding value. One of the ways that you add value to realtors is to help them build stronger partnerships. Back in the day with a previous tech company, we had partnered with Prudential Real Estate on a global basis. They actually gave us their database of every single realtor for Prudential Home Services globally, 55,000 agents. But I attended their national sales convention for 3 years in a row. And so I'd always ask these agents, what's your number one challenge when it comes to referrals? And the answer I got, quite frankly, surprised me. They said, we give a ton of referrals out. We don't get many referrals back. And so if you can help them build strong referral partnerships, not only with other realtors and other markets, financial advisors, and everybody else, it can make a massive difference in your business. And Todd, I know there's one here, property managers. You had a lot of success with that in the mortgage industry, didn't you?
I have a great story. And the best part about you too was that in Vegas, you got to meet my property manager. I've been telling this story with you for quite some time now. But but when I got in the mortgage business, a friend of mine at the same time bought a property management company, and he was kind of clueless of the mortgage side of things. But what he did know is that he had 2 types of people in his database. He had investors who owned the houses that he was managing, and he had renters who were in those houses, majority of whom wanted to become homeowners. And so the first mortgage I financed was the first house he sold. And so it really became this niche for me, primarily working with his investors, because I was a mortgage coach user literally from the first day of my business. Shout out to Dave and his team. And I understood the numbers, but the bottom line is that especially during that time, 20 years ago, rates were coming down. I refinanced at one time 2 dozen homes for somebody, another person, just about 10. I mean, I had 2 massive and then lots of onesie, twosie opportunities. And so when you look at this list, you don't necessarily realize that there's gold in their database if you become friends with them. And you have these opportunities to make sure, especially the investors now, I would go after a property manager again, knowing that there's a ton of equity, and some of those folks maybe want to take one property, 1031 exchange it, use that equity to buy 2 or 3 more, even at higher rates. There's an opportunity. So I'm hearing a lot of that in the marketplace. So just keep that in mind, that we oftentimes are so focused on realtors because they really are, I hate to use the term low hanging fruit, but they are really the should be at the top. But what you also have to do is carve out time for this other group on this list.
Absolutely. And property managers are serving investors all day, every day. So that makes perfect sense. Now, when you think about where your business is coming from and really who makes your best referral partners, there's 3 things that you want to think about. Number 1, who are you already referring business to? Right? And are you getting much business back from them, or is it more of a one-way? We want to help you make that a 2-way so that you're both benefiting from the relationship. And then number 2, who's sending clients to you? Are there people that are already sending clients to you that you can really add value to and get even more business from? And then lastly, and this is an important group, is who do you have relationships with? Right? Maybe you've known them for a long time. You know them, you like them, they trust you explicitly, but you've never really formalized a referral partnership with. Those 3 groups of people are the folks that you want to be on the lookout for. And there's 4 ways that we help you at HOA.com, and coaching, communities, co-marketing, concierge. We're going to kind of cover that so you understand kind of what we do. But these are things that you can do to make a difference with your referral partners as well. You know, if you're helping coach them in their success, if you're marketing with them on a local community basis, or doing co-marketing campaigns so that you're winning clients together, and then also providing concierge services so that you're helping all of their people with everything they need. When it comes to coaching and training, Todd mentioned earlier that we do that. Todd, you want to kind of share about our coaching? And of course, we've got our book coming out here soon, which hopefully everybody will get a copy of.
Yeah, can't wait for that. You know, I mean, it's us talking from 3 perspectives. One is from my perspective is as a coach in the mortgage space. 2 is from your perspective as the original author, Raving Referrals, and really the top person I know about helping people connect. And then lastly, we have the voice of the members, right? The folks that are inside with us on Zoom and are giving us feedback, questions, success stories, challenges, so that we can all grow together. And so it's just a fun way for us to come together as a community and not just come together, but actually grow together.
I love it. I love it. And it's all about growing and doing the best that we can. But you also want to be connecting in communities. And, you know, this quote, we've actually put it on a mug because we love it so much. There's no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And, you know, we think that over the last couple of years, people are more disconnected than ever, and people want to belong again. They want to feel like they're connected. And so one of the ways that we do that is with marketing and localizing that marketing. And we want to help promote you in those local neighborhoods that you serve. And we teach a concept called hyper local social farming. Todd, do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, so think about the idea, right? You've all heard of farming, but this is just taking it kind of one step further, kind of hyper local, really narrow it down and be laser focused on a specific area. And I love to tell a story because you all know someone that you can think of who owns your neighborhood, right? Brandon, you had in Oregon, the mayor of Murray Hill, right? And so you have these ideas of someone that you think of, maybe even in your own neighborhood, who other realtors actually feel intimidated by. They're like, oh no, that is that realtor. It's their neighborhood, not even my own neighborhood. And so I love the story. I've got a local realtor here in Arizona. There's a city called Fountain Hills, which is just east of Scottsdale. For those of you who've been here, maybe you know it. Literally, it's a city with a big old fountain in the middle of the hills. And I called the realtor on a live day where people were actually listening to me make phone calls. And I wanted to challenge myself and call people who I thought would not say yes to me and the offer I had, which happened to be HOA.com. And long story short, The reason I thought he was a no was because he's partial owner of 4 or 5 Keller Williams offices, and his best friend is his mortgage lender, and he's advertised with them on everything. But really, I talked about, well, where are you farming? And I talked about, well, how hyper local are you getting? And he's been farming literally the whole big community. And I said, well, is there a specific area in that community where you feel like you could go a little more narrow and be a little more laser focused? And he picked out his favorite community there. So, well, what if my team helped you co-market to that community, and we helped you with a platform that could help you build a different type of relationship than you're building currently with members of that community? And I'm waiting for the no. And he's like, well, tell me more. And so we walk through really, well, here's the ways that we do it, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But the bottom line was he said yes. And not only did he say yes that day to one community, in a subsequent meeting, the last one we had, he actually took 6 agents on his team and put them into 6 communities to work with my team. And so it was kind of fun. Brandon, you teach the wedge strategy. And ultimately, that's what we use. We used the wedge strategy. Surprisingly to me, I knew that there was a great opportunity there, but the bottom line is that even the people who you think are untouchable, if you can bring a great opportunity and help them with something that they know they could do better, then you can turn a no into a yes.
It's huge. And Todd talked about the mayor of Murray Hill. I used to live in Beaverton, Oregon before moving down to Phoenix. And I lived in this area called Murray Hill. And when you would drive about these 10 communities, 2 out of every 3 for sale signs that you saw in front of houses would say for sale Brian Belair's. And we used to call him the mayor of Murray Hill because this guy was everywhere. And you felt like an idiot if you listed your house and didn't at least call the guy and hear what he had to say, because he had all the sellers and all the buyers because he had farmed that area. So, whether you choose to come on board with HOA.com or not, I want to show you a couple things here. What we do is we have a membership program. So just so you know, people become members of our referral network. We create pages for every different community in America, and then we recommend the top trusted pros, whether that's a mortgage lender, realtor. It has all kinds of info, including events of what's going on. And it's really, really helpful for you guys to become that top trusted mortgage lender. But it also gives you a reason to build your referral team, your trusted team members, so that you've got something that you can offer to people. Donnie Strickland is one of our mortgage lenders. She's out in Las Vegas, and she was just telling, she was on our coaching call just last hour, and she said that over the summer, while most people were vacationing, she got 77 referrals that turned into 34 applications. And she's a newer agent. She's been a processor for like 15 years, but she just became a loan officer at the beginning of the year. So she had no relationships, but she's using the referral partner blueprint to really build those partnerships. We have, all kinds of different companies that use it. But also,
wait a second though, like let's really dig in on that, right? I mean, loan officer for less than a year, and then over the summer got 77 referrals, right?
Yeah.
Think about that, y'all. I mean, this is someone who approached with a beginner's mindset, wasn't like, that'll work for them, but it won't work for me. She's someone who actually took action. And I just love her success story. And I've told her story over and over as an example, because I know so many loan officers who they're in the first year of their business, but they're in the first year of their business for the 15th or 20th time because they're doing the same thing over and over again. They're not willing to have that beginner's mindset and do something different. So I just love that Donnie did that, took action. And, I think you all think you're smarter than your processors, but she's proven that she's actually outsmarting a lot, if not most of the loan officers I know.
Yeah, I love what she's doing. And one of the other things that we do here at HOA.com is we actually create the Home Safe Report. And this is similar in some regards to like a HomeBot or My Home IQ. It goes out from you to the homeowners in your database so that they see exactly what their home is worth on a monthly basis. It's automated, set it and forget it, just like some of those other services. Where it's different is that it's not only promoting you to the homeowners in your database, but also as you add in your trusted team, realtors, insurance agents, financial advisors, and others, it promotes all of the pros together collectively. And wouldn't it be great if you had realtors that were promoting you to all of the homeowners in their database? That's what our system does. It also has information. We're trying to capture leads for you of people that are looking to buy or sell. And it has comparable sales so they can see what has sold recently, what's for sale, and of course, events that are happening right there in your local market. So really powerful tool. And again, automated, set it and forget it, which is super important. Todd, anything you want to add here?
Well, I mean, this is by far the thing I'm top of my excitement list, right? Because ultimately it's different, right? I look at it from a couple of directions. Number one is my team spends about a little over $2,000 a month on the competing product. So I'm excited that we're moving everyone over into this product. But I also love the fact that it highlights the other professionals, and that I've now got other professionals that have partnered with agents that are working with my team to promote a specific community. And then those agents are getting their trusted advisor, right? The Angie's List portion that Brandon talked about. And then they're sending out this report with my team's picture, contact information onto all of their database. So when you look at all these different vendors that are on here that are partners with the realtor and partners, in this case with Stacy and her realtor, that these folks are all actually mailing this with their information to their databases. So when you want to talk about the whole idea of how do we get exponential growth, how do we get something of value in front of our clients that they're going to open? And this is it, because now it's not just you, it's not you plus the realtor, it's you plus the realtor plus the rest of this group.
Yeah, and it's really about helping your homeowners that you serve find a place that's where you go to find a pro. Really, that's what it's all about. And we even have a concierge service. Let me just skip past a couple of these things because I just kind of showed that to you. So the other thing that we provide is a concierge service. So that if once you close a loan, you've got somebody that's moving into a new house, that you'll be able to give them a free concierge service as a gift from you to them. And it's branded with your photo and your name and your phone number. But then we take care of everything for them. We will change their address, set up their utilities, their internet, their cable, water, get them quotes on security and home insurance and solar if they want, all the things that they need when they're moving into a new house. And that's super powerful. And the beauty is there's no additional cost for you. It's part of your membership and it is totally free to the homeowner. So I'm super excited about the concierge service. I think this provides that wow factor for not only your clients, but also your referral partners. And the concierge service, I think, is something super important. Todd, anything you want to add there?
I would just add it's a unique value proposition, right? Again, another service that we're using that we were spending a lot of money on with a third party. So as Brandon said, you can do all this stuff on your own. And what we were doing is we use it on the initial phone call with our clients as a differentiator. Awesome. Hey, one of the most difficult things my clients find is the stressful time of getting everything, all the utilities turned on in their new home. And we've got a concierge that we're happy once we get you once you're under contract, we're going to introduce you to so they can help you with one phone call, make all those phone calls for you and get all your utilities turned on. And so it's kind of fun to see not just how you can help a client relieve stress in the process, because I know none of the competition is doing that when my team is talking to them. But then also to see that they continue to use the concierge service afterwards, which is great because, again, they're using people that have been selected. It just makes it easier for them to figure out who to trust.
It's huge. I was just on yesterday with the president of a title company here in Phoenix, and they're adding this in for every single transaction. So every seller and every buyer is going to get the concierge service every single time, which is awesome. One of the other ways that we help you, and again, whether you choose to be a part of what we're doing or just building your business outside of HOA.com, you want to be socially relevant, right? What we do is create campaigns that you can just copy, paste, and post for social media, because one of the biggest challenges is figuring out what to post. Now, ours are all around activities, community beneficial activities like the Great Egg Hunt, or We've Been Booed is perfect for this time of year, or Veteran Salute. We're a passionately patriotic company, just so you know. My co-founder is a retired Army, so we are passionate about our veterans and love our country, and we're always going to be sharing that. But we also do live events. And whether it is a networking event of professionals that you help put on in your local market so that you become the connector and all the realtors and insurance agents, financial planners, and home service pros are coming to your event, that's something that we help you with. Or you're doing a community impact event, whether you're collecting food or doing an ice cream social or a community barbecue, these events help to bring the community together and keep you top of mind. Todd, I know this is one of the things that you've been having success with in the local market. Do you want to share your story?
Well, think about this, right? The last thing we want to do is create more work for ourselves or more cost for ourselves. But the realtors that my team has teamed up with, like a perfect example is the first event that they did earlier this year was on April 15th, right? Wasn't officially tax day since it rolled into the next week, but it happened to be on a weekend. And so they did a shredathon. And my favorite part about the shredathon was that they reached out to the HOA and said, hey, we're going to do this event. And the HOA said, no realtors ever reached out to us. And the HOA posted the flyer onto the HOA's website. They emailed it to every member of the community. And the best part about it was a flyer that my team didn't create, my team didn't pay for, but had my team's contact information on every flyer that went out. The realtor and the title company paid for and did all of the effort. And all we had to do was show up on game day, shake hands and kiss babies. And it's just a great example of how when you're providing so much value for your partners and a roadmap for them to I take ideas and turn them into action that you can actually do without the normal hesitation we all have, which is that they're going to ask us for money. They're going to ask us for time. It's just a great opportunity for you to figure out, a great new opportunity for you to figure out how to partner with more people.
Yeah, and you want to be face to face, not only with the homeowners that you want to build relationships with, but also your referral partners like realtors and others, right? I was interviewing Jason Mitchell last week, and he owns the Jason Mitchell Group Real Estate Group. He's got one of the fastest growing teams in the US. He's on pace to do 9,500 transactions this year. And so he's just crushing it. But he said the key to his success was exactly this. It was, he didn't call it hyper-local social farming, but as he was describing, he said, I would focus on one neighborhood, one community, and then I would do open houses, I would do events, I would send postcards, I would farm that community until they couldn't think of anybody else. And that's really the key. We love these events. I got to go to one recently. It was a barbecue, and it was put on by a realtor and a mortgage lender. They each spent about $25 because they had everybody bring their own meat that they wanted to throw on the grill. And then it was about 50 people that showed up, and they just got to interface with everybody. And the mortgage lender got to call the realtor and do this event together. So it gave them something to do together. And the coolest part for me is I was looking around, and like I said, there's about 50 people there. The kids are playing basketball, the dads are playing cornhole, the kids are playing kickball, but not one single person was on their cell phone. Neighbors were just hanging out, having a good time. And that's the kind of community connections that we want to see. But the key really is hyper local social farming. So again, whether you choose to be a member of our referral network or you just build this on your own, take these concepts and go put them into practice, take action. Now, we have a few different mortgage programs. So I'm going to walk you through kind of how it works. Number one, we license communities. So what that means is if you apply and you see the link there at hoa.com/LO, if you choose to come on board with us, we do background checks, but once you're approved, you'll select what community you want to target and market to. And so we base that on subdivisions in the tax record. So it's all about subdivisions. But that community, you are the exclusive mortgage lender in that community. And that really sets you apart because now you get to build a team around that community. Todd, anything you want to add there?
I mean, I think it's the whole idea that whether you live in a real HOA or you live in a community, that there's a opportunity for you to have that exclusive area to market to in a different way. As Brandon said, you can build it on your own, but the question is will you, and how quick could you do it versus can you just jump in and do it through a platform at a lower cost with a lower amount of time in order to get to where you're trying to go.
Yeah, I think also the endorsement factor is huge, right? Having a badge that says that you are a trusted mortgage expert is also super powerful. So, Todd mentioned HOAs versus non-HOAs. We're creating community pages for every neighborhood in America, whether it's an HOA or not. Now, 53% of all homeowners live in an HOA, so it's over half of the market. But if I ask you what's the number one brand that you think of when it comes to HOAs, I only get two answers to that question. The number one answer, if this was Family Feud, is there isn't any. They can't think of any, so they don't know. And then number two is there isn't any. So anyway, the communities are the core of our hyper local social farming program. The second component that's equally as important is referral partner co-marketing campaigns. And this is like that Home Safe report where you set it and forget it. Once you set it up one time, you bring on your referral partners and invite them to be part of your trusted team. At that point, the system does the remarketing for you to all of the homeowners in your respective databases. And Todd, I haven't seen any other program or platform out there that does this. Have you?
Nor have I. I mean, again, it's one thing if you co-market with a realtor, but as I said earlier, I mean, there's so much power in having these other folks who don't have a solution like this to send out to their database, that their database is actually going to open. It's just been mind-blowing, the positive response that everyone has when they hear about this.
Yeah, and we do have done for you referral partner management, by the way. What that means is if you are super successful and time is your issue, then we'll actually call top producing realtors in your local market and schedule appointments for you. We'll basically walk them through the program. If they like what they hear and they agree to meet with you and partner with you on that community, then we'll schedule them right into your calendar. So just know that's an option for those of you who are crushing it and looking to save more time. And then the concierge and the coaching is the other component. And we've kind of talked about that already. So I don't think we need to go into detail there. But let's talk about how we're bringing people onto HOA.com. We're in pre-launch, just so you know, right now. We're going to do a big national launch at the end of January. So you've got an opportunity to wrap up and to claim your local communities before other mortgage lenders are able to do so. But one of the things that we're doing is HOA satisfaction surveys. And so as we activate a neighborhood, we'll send a postcard to every single homeowner with a QR code that they can scan to rate their HOA. And then we give that data to the homeowner board so they see exactly how their community members, their neighbors feel about them. So that's going live in January. The Home Safe report we showed you, the community pages for every neighborhood, but we also create lifetime client campaigns to help you automatically follow up with all of the people in your database so you stay top of mind and they always know about you, and the local impact events, and then the community concierge service. So we're also working on a neighborhood news direct mail program. I don't have it there because that's not launched in live, but that's one of the things that we'll be adding. So we have every single homeowner in America in our database feed. So we know their name, their address, their phone number. In many cases, we have their email, their social media contacts, and all their demographics and sociographics. We know how much money they make, some really big data, and we're going to be using that to help you guys build relationships with those homeowners. Todd, anything you want to add here?
I mean, it's just a big list, right? I mean, I love the idea of the HOA satisfaction surveys. That's one of our newest things because of the fact that you actually have a reason to get the homeowner to engage with you and the realtor and the community. I just think that's huge.
It's huge. And you know what we do is we customize the direct mail directly to them. So their name is on it. And that way it feels highly personalized because it is. It's not, current resident or whatever they put on those direct mail pieces. So Todd, you want to talk about Matt?
Matt is someone I know and know well, and I just love it because this was a video Matt recorded from Mexico because he's an elite expert. So he was literally in Mexico sitting on the beach while HOA.com was onboarding his partners and the rest of the the crew that were joining in as part of their community. And so one of the things that you talked about was the done for you piece of it. And that's just such a big part of it, is that at all levels, as you start bringing on the other businesses that are going to work with, your realtor, the other trades that we've got onboarding, that'll bring them on for you to help make it easier for you. And so it's just one other way that we give you scale.
Yeah, and I think what's so cool about this is we have a lot of success stories of people that are getting deals quickly. I love this one from Daniel Herrera because he said it gave him the confidence to cold call new realtors. And confidence is so important, especially in today's market, right? You got to feel good when you're reaching out to people. And this gives you something that's unique. And Todd, I think for you, are you still batting 1,000 when you make calls about HOA.com?
I am. It's still so embarrassing. I need someone to say no, because then it won't sound like a bunch of baloney. But so far, every single person that I've called, I mentioned earlier, I did a live call day. So I had almost 80 loan officers that were listening in throughout the day as I made phone calls. I called just over 100 agents. I talked to 51 that day. And I thought I was going to have to talk to them all about HOA.com to fill up my initial portion that my team had purchased. And what I realized real quick, as everyone said yes, and since everyone said yes, I actually had to change up my scripting for the subsequent calls later in the day. But yes, still today batting 1,000 every person that I've asked, regardless of whether they were someone I knew really well or someone I was just meeting, whether they were a smaller agent or someone as big as the guy that I mentioned who owns these real estate offices and has a large team. They've all said yes to partnering with my team with HOA.com.
And that's the beauty, because it's something different, right? And you're able to add so much value between the community pages, the home safe report, co-marketing engine, the coaching, the concierge. What I like about this one is not only did Daniel say it gave him the confidence, but he got 2 deals from one agent in just the first few days of signing up. And we get a lot of stories like that because it is something different. Now, just to kind of show you the vision of where we're going, this shows you some of the brands that we're already partnered with and others that we are have on our vision board that we want as partners. But we've already done deals with Thumbtack. I was just talking to the Remax franchise owner for all of the Caribbean and Central America yesterday. I'm meeting with him in Denver on Sunday, and he's taking us to the senior vice president of Remax Global because they want to do a deal with us. Home Advantage, care.com. They just emailed me this morning. I'm going to get back to them. View Insurance. So we've got a lot of partners that we've already put in place. And what we're creating is a portfolio of some of the best brands on the planet so that we can really affect and impact homeowners effectively. So what happens next? You can go to HOA.com/LO and apply. There's no commitment, no cost, no obligation, but put in your application. Let's have a conversation. You'll select the program that fits best for you. We'll do a one-on-one with you and just make sure that this is a fit from both sides. And then you'll claim your top desired communities and we'll help you activate your network. So really a simple process. We've got a great back end built for you. And so what we're going to do now is just open it up for questions. You can call or text us. We're going to answer questions live, just so you know. But if you want to have a one-on-one or talk to someone on our team, you can call or text us at 623-253-5700. I think Spencer will put that in Slack. So let's see, Todd, what kind of questions we got?
Someone's asking if we already have a connection with the HOAs or not.
Yeah, so we don't overall, although we're in a partnership conversation right now that we're finalizing for about 2,000 communities through one of the largest property managers in the US. And that's part of the strategy that we're going to be implementing, is partnering with the property management companies that already have communities under management. But our community activation plan starts with sending out those HOA surveys to every single homeowner in a community. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create that report and provide it to the HOA board members and the property manager. And that way, that will start the partnership with the HOAs at that point.
Yeah, great question. And then the other one we kind of already answered was, hey, do we Could someone build it on their own? And I think the bottom line is you can, but I can tell you that I've got a drawer full down here of ideas of things that I saw other people do that I thought I was recreate this myself. And then I started working on it, and then I got 20%, 30%, 80%, and I just never could get it across the finish line. And I promise you, since you can get involved here for less than $1 a day, that there's no doubt in my mind that the easy button is to jump in here versus try to recreate something that's already been created and at a higher level than I know I could create on my own. And I think I can operate at a pretty high level when I am intentional about it.
Yeah, you can totally do this on your own. That's why we wanted to give you this masterclass, so you know the strategies. And whether you choose to be a part of our referral network and our platform or not, you should be doing this. Okay, so take action from this event. Now, much of this is what I did to build my mortgage business, quite frankly, 25 years ago. This is how I was successful, and how in that period I closed $500 million in loans, was because I created partnerships. We did events. I co-marketed my partners all the time. I used to run ads in the Oregonian newspaper or the real estate book back in Portland, Oregon, where I lived. And then I created an early version of Zillow back in 1997. It was pdxhome.com. And I literally went to realtors and I said, I want to feature your listing on pdxhome.com, the Portland online home buyer guide. I captured leads, buyers and sellers. I referred those deals to my partner agents, and then I won all of their loyalty and all of their referrals. And that's how I built my business. So can you do this on your own? You bet you can. It's going to take you a long time. It's going to take you cost a lot of money to really build out what we've done. And you won't necessarily have all of the tools. We're just the easy button, and we give you the credibility because we're building a national network so that everyone in America knows HOA.com 12 months from now. So you get to benefit from that. You get to, tag along for the ride, really, and take advantage and be a part of it. All right. Any other I see that Chad's asking about costs. So we have a variety of different programs and plans for you, Chad. We don't do a monthly program. We do an annual membership, just like a BNI. Although I think BNI charges like $800 a year. We have one plan that starts at $357 for one community. Most of our mortgage lenders will choose 3 communities. That's $997. And again, if you're making over $4,000 from one deal, then you need one deal to more than pay for this many times over. All right, let's see. Any other questions that we've got here?
You're welcome. My encouragement is that the challenge that I'm finding that loan officers are having in the market is the call reluctance, right? To pick up the phone, to get the relationship at a time where real estate agents are getting more calls than ever from loan officers. And I'm shocked when I ask the real estate agent, well, what kind of value are they adding? And they say none. I say, well, what do you mean? They say, well, everyone tells me about the 2-1 buy down, that they have flyers, that they do these other things, but no one's actually adding real value. Now, compare that to me when I've called people and said, hey, my team's looking to partner with someone in HOA.com. And that's not the build up to it. We talk about how the scripting works and what's worked on our coaching calls. But the bottom line is I engage in a conversation where I ask them questions and able to get them to say yes, based on their feedback, not because I'm twisting their arm or manipulating, but because I'm giving them something of value to help them do something that they've wanted to do, which was become the mayor of Murray Hill, which is to become the person who's the community connector. And this is that tool. It's a relationship platform. And it's not just a relationship platform for you. It's for the realtor. It's for the financial advisor, the insurance agent, everyone else to work together to do it. And so I would just encourage you, fill out the form, talk to somebody, figure out if it's a good fit for you. Because the bottom line is that next year, when you get on one of these calls and we're in full launch and everyone's out there and the communities are all getting gobbled up, you would have wished that you would have gotten your favorite neighborhoods now.
Yeah, well said. And you can use that as value add, right, to every single person. Not the realtor's number one, but also the financial advisors, CPAs. Granted, it's not refi time right now, but think about the investors that Todd was talking about earlier, right? Think about partnering with property managers whose only job is to serve investors. Just one property manager can make your entire year like it did with Todd, right? Todd, you did what, 21 deals?
24. I can't, I got to go back and find it. I think it was 23 or 25. So I'd say 24. That's kind of the average. And, my processor was so mad because something would change on one file. And because they were all getting submitted at the same time to the same investor, then she had to go through and change it on every single file. It was just, it was like more than a full-time job for her. But I mean, think about that. What do we have that we could go to a property manager with today to add value other than to say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you give me a lead? Can you give me a list? And this is something that's actually valuable to them. It's valuable to their investors, and it's valuable to their tenants who are living in these communities.
It's huge. And, just one relationship like that is worth gold. So I love it. All right. Well, if you have any other questions, call or text us 623-253-5700. And we want to help you guys succeed. This has been a tough year, the last year, and really since June. So it's been a year and a half almost. And the reality is, those of you that do the work, that this is the season of sowing, right? It's all about planting seeds, building relationships, adding value to everyone that you can. But again, if you focus on those investors, that's where a huge source of current deal flow can be, because those guys are always buying properties, and they've got to date the rate, as we say, right, Todd?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're super grateful that you carved out time. Your time is so valuable, and we know it. And our goal today was to give you some actionable ideas, introduce you to an exciting opportunity to become part of HOA.com. And as Brandon said, if you've got any questions, reach out. We are here to help and here to serve.
Well said. All right, everybody, make it a great day, and remember to win by noon.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. See ya.
Yes.